I am Dr. Shelby Rader. I'm from Estill County, Kentucky, and I graduated from the Gatton Academy in 2009.
My name is Braeden Patrick. I'm from Pulaski County, and I'm the Gatton class of 2024.
So I was part of the inaugural class of Gatton, so it had not existed prior to that point. So it was really new, and I actually had a gifted education teacher that was in our school system who was a family friend, because it's a very small town I'm from, who reached out to me and had recommended it might be something that I'd be interested in.
I'm working with Dr. Rader at IU Bloomington, and the research we're working on is using lead isotopes to try and work as a tracker for lead pollution. We are taking plants, and it is currently available to use soil samples to use the different isotopic ratios to find out where the source of pollution is from and what beta rate to remediate it. But it would be a more sustainable option if we could just take a piece of a plant and then analyze that for the same result as analyzing the soil as a more eco-friendly tracker.
So geology was never something I intended to be involved in, and I have Gatton to thank for my conversion into a geologist. So while I was at Gatton, I needed an extra science credit. I took a geology class on a whim and absolutely fell in love. So prior to that, I was pre-med, and I had taken a lot of chemistry, a lot of biology, a lot of physics. And while I enjoyed the classes, it felt like, especially a lot of the earlier coursework, was kind of dry, and the lectures were a little dry. And the first day I walked into a geology class, I had never had a professor that was so excited to be there or who was so passionate about what they were lecturing about. And it was infectious. The students loved to be there. You could tell that all the faculty loved to be there. And I just immediately fell in love. So I continued to take more geology classes while at Gatton. Did some research with the faculty in the geology department at Western, and ended up loving it so much that I stayed there to complete my undergrad to continue to work with him.
One thing I've learned about myself that I always suspected during a rig is that I do love lab work. I had always assumed that I would enjoy being in a lab and handling chemicals and having reactions, but I have found that I do have a great passion for it, and even the boring stuff where you don't see big reactions, but knowing that what you're doing is stripping away things or creating some chemical reaction that you can't physically see has been incredible.
There were a lot of things I learned at Gatton that I think made me very successful afterwards. I think a lot of it was the types of relationships that I was able to develop there. The research opportunity that I had while I was at Gatton is really what spurred my love for the field that I'm in. And I never would have had that experience without being at Gatton, I don't believe. And so I learned how to do research, how to balance research with coursework, how to develop personal relationships while balancing all of those things, and then really discovered my passion for what I do now.
There are a lot of things I've experienced at Gatton that makes it special to me, but the two that I've found most beneficial is the community that I have found around me, as well as the skills of time management that I've had to work on. The community has helped me feel supported, and it's more special to me than I could ever recommend.
So there are 4 of us from the inaugural class, so both the junior and senior class, that to this day, 15 years later, are incredibly close. They're my best friends. We talk all the time, and we have one trip a year where we all get together and see each other. And so those are some of the best things I ever took away from my time at Gatton.
I decided to choose research at Gatton because I'm not sure what I want to do. I have so many different interests in my life that I cannot decide on them, like at the stage that I'm in right now, so I decided that I should try a research opportunity so that I could see if this field of was a specific interest to me, so that I could see if I could find myself doing this in the future, and it would open up more opportunities for me.
If you have any inkling at all that you're interested in research, try it. It doesn't matter if you end up working with a type of project that you end up not really loving. Sometimes that can be as formative and helpful as finding something that you do fall in love with.
I've been found more recently that I want to just make an impact in some way, and I used to just think that that could be in a medical aspect. But the more that I'm doing research here at IU, I find that even this research can be very impactful to people's everyday lives if we can improve the pollution.
The level of students that come from Gatton are a very different level than other students, especially at the high school level. I've worked with students at the high school level, I've worked with students at the undergraduate level, and I've worked with students at the graduate level. And students from the academy are very self-driven and motivated, and so it ends up being a really rewarding experience that feels very much mutually beneficial, and so I can't recommend it enough.
Gatton has helped me accomplish these goals by their motto, infinite possibilities. I would have never imagined that I would be in Indiana at my age. I'm 16 years old. I never would have thought that I could have these connections already, or that I would be receiving this level of education and mentorship, even if I was already a graduate in college.
I feel like I owe a lot to Gatton. That was a very formative experience in my lifetime, and I think without my time at Gatton and getting involved in research there, which was prior to the RIG program being formalized, I don't think I would be where I am today. So I certainly owe a lot to that experience. The Academy offers so many opportunities, especially things involving research that you would never be able to get otherwise, especially in a traditional high school. And so take advantage of it. Reach out to faculty that you might be interested in working with. Take different types of courses, just like I did. You might find something that you absolutely love unexpectedly, but just try things. This is probably one of the best opportunities you'll ever have to try new experiences, so definitely take advantage of it where you can.